He is here.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. What makes you think so?
A tremor in the Force. The last time I felt it was in the presence of my old master.
Surely he must be dead by now.
Don't underestimate the Force.
The Jedi are extinct. Their fire has gone out of the universe. You, my friend, are all that's left of their religion.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mando number 5.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, Mando number 5, and I'm Keith Guppy. Welcome to episode number 31 of Mando's Best, where I look at all the iconic characters, ships, playsets from the 3.75-inch modern Star Wars lines from 1995 until now. Now I've been working away this week, so again, time's been limited, so I've picked a character which is appears in the background of Star Wars, Rogue One, doesn't get much screen time. And I've carried on the theme of Imperial. So last week we did Imperial Gunner. This week we're going to do the Imperial Commander, Navy Commander, Death Star Trooper, whatever you want to call him. The figures, to be honest, all at the same. So that's what we're going to do this week. As usual, we'll do a bit of a flyby. We'll do a bit of detailed look at the figures. There's not many of them. And we'll do Mando's 5 facts of the week. And then stay tuned to the end where we'll do Mando's best figure of the week.
Command station, this is ST-321, code clearance blue. We're starting our approach to deactivate the security shield.
Security deflective shield will be deactivated when we have confirmation of your code transmission. Stand by. You are cleared to proceed.
We're starting our approach.
Inform the commander that Lord Vader's shuttle has arrived.
So as usual, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a quick flyby of the figures you can get for the Death Star Trooper, and then we'll have a bit more detailed look later on. I haven't got the freeze frame version. I can't find it, which is really annoying me, as you can imagine. But we'll dive straight in. You had the 30th anniversary coin version. The same figure was released in the Saga Legends line. Then you've got the TVC version. And then you've got the retro version, which is very popular with a lot of people. And then it also come in the action figure set, which has got the same version as the 30th anniversary and the Saga Legends line. And then you've got a completely different version, this really cool Death Star accessory set, which is really cool, which we'll have a good look into later on. But there you go, really brief flyby of all the Death Star troopers, commanders, whatever you want to call them, that you can get. As usual, if you're enjoying the episode, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and please put in the comments any characters you'd like to see or ships in the future. We are going to build up some more major line characters in the future when I've got a bit more time. So those guys who've put in ideas in the past, just be patient and they'll come up very soon. So let's look at Mando's 5 facts of the week. There were just 5 versions of the Imperial Commander, Death Star Trooper, and the 3.75-inch line. So not many, across 4 different lines. You can also get them in the Saga Death Star accessory set, which is just there, which we'll look at later on. And also the special action figure set, which is just behind over there. First released in the Power of the Force 2 line in the freeze frame version from 1998. And last released in the Retro Collection in 2019. The most expensive one, unsurprisingly, is the TVC version, VC94, which is you can get for about £45 to £60. And that's Mando's 5 facts of the week. So let's go in a bit of detail into the Death Star troopers or Death Star commanders, whatever you want to call it, really. They all look the same figure, and I think they were basically the same figure in the films, to be honest. I haven't got the first one that came out. The first one came out was 1998, the freeze frame version. But obviously the earliest ones were the Kenner ones from 1977, and they come out in a number of different variants, etc., etc. These days, you know, like most original 21 cards, they would be, you know, hundreds of pounds. But the first one I've got here today really is the 2002 Death Star accessory set, which is really pretty cool. So you get a pretty limited movement Death Star Trooper, but you get a mouse droid, an interrogation droid or security droid, whatever you call it, on a pole. You get a really cool weapons rack. You get a Stormtrooper helmet, 2 blasters, 2 rifles and a heavy blaster, and a gun belt. So it's a pretty cool set really, from 2002. Came out with a number of other accessory sets. There's the interrogation droid and a Death Star Trooper in the background. I mean, in the films they'd have limited viewing. They're mostly in the background. A couple Death Star firing shots they were in as well, but mostly in the background. I'll pop a couple of videos up today just to show you what they looked like in the film, but they were, like I said, a bit like Emperor's Royal Guards, just in the background really. But this Death Star set would probably cost you probably about £20 now, but it's a pretty cool set. And they did produce, I think, a Endor set and a couple other sets which are really cool as well, with some of the accessories from 2002. Then in 2011, as part of the Saga Legends line, they produced an all-new sculpt, which was then repeated several times. A much better looking figure, all in black, just a little bit of silver on the belt, quite big gloves. Helmet I'm not sure about. I'm not sure if any of the helmets really give the figure justice, because they're all a bit, I don't know, a little bit big, but I guess they are big in the film as well. So there's the figure focused in there. So that was from 2011, about £15, so not a really expensive figure if you want a troop build. And then the same mould, exactly the same mould, exactly the same figure, came out again, the 30th anniversary line in 2022. Obviously you get the coin with it, but exactly the same figure again. I probably prefer the background a bit more. It's a bit more of a stern look, and you get a bit more of the Death Star look in the background, so it's a little bit of a better figure than that one. I think you get a bit more for your money. Again, that one there, you can probably pick it up for about 12 quid, and it has got the iconic background that you see on the vintage Kenner and the retro collection as well. So that was the 30th anniversary in 2022. And then in 2010 you had this one, the special action figure set, villain set, and again you had the same, I think it's the same mould. Just have a look here. Yeah, same mould again, produced in a special action figure set. Now these special action figure sets have gone up quite a lot in price. You'd probably be looking at between, I don't know, £50 and £80 for this. It's not the most expensive one. It's only available at Target, so they are quite hard to get hold of. So again, same mould, exactly same again, but an interesting not the TVC mould that came out a couple of years later. So here it is, VC 94, which came out in 2011, 1 year later actually. Completely different mould, a massive improvement on the other moulds that come before it. The gun was better. I think the gun's got a bit of silver on it, but a much better mould. The helmet's not too bad. I think they still can improve on that. But this was called the Imperial Navy Commander, just to change things up a little bit there. So they've not actually produced a Death Star Trooper as yet. This was an Imperial Navy Commander, and I think they probably won't, because they don't know how to distinguish between the two. So yeah, like I said, that one there is VC 94, and it's probably the most expensive one you can get out of all the Death Star Troopers, Navy Commanders, etc. And you probably have to spend about £45 to £60 to get that. This has got the Darth Maul life-size figure offer on it. But a pretty nice card back with the original picture of the Death Star Commander right there. Probably it looks to me a different, actor on the back of here, but it's exactly the same scene. And so it's probably a good time to bring in the retro collection version of 2022, which is obviously the reproduction of the original. And you can see, I think those actors, possibly different actors, whether it's just lighting, but they look a little bit different. The background's the same though, so maybe I'm wrong. Anyone out there know? Let me know, interestingly. So that's the retro collection figure. People love this figure because it obviously brings back the original Death Squad Commander from 2022.
It came in the second line of Star Wars that reduced the retro collection. Again, that figure there, probably 20-25 quid. So yeah, not a massive amount, but probably more than it retailed just a couple of years ago, obviously. And that was the last release. There you go. Let's look at which one is Mando's best of the week.
Until this battle station is fully operational, we are vulnerable. The Rebel Alliance is too well equipped. They're more dangerous than you realize.
Dangerous to your Starfleet, Commander, not to this battle station.
The rebellion will continue to gain us support in the Imperial Senate.
The Imperial Senate will no longer be of any concern to us. I have just received word that the Emperor has dissolved the Council permanently. The last remnants of the old Republic have been swept away.
So, ladies and gentlemen, which one is Mando's best of the week? Well, I'm really torn. So I've kind of got a split decision, but they are slightly different. So let me explain why. I think this set is really, really cool. You've got the weapons rack, the mouse droid, you know, a pretty good Death Star Trooper inside. The what's it called? The torture droid, whatever you want to call it, here on the pole. A really nice set. So that's pretty cool. But I think just in terms of individual figure, I think the TVC version is the best. You know, proportions is the best. It's the only one where the helmet looks sort of half sensible. I still don't think it's quite screen accurate, so it could probably still do a new release. But I think just for the figure alone, this one is Mando's best of the week. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll see you again next week. Until then, goodbye. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mando number 5.